declarations of interest.
Yes, Chair. Items 8, personal, and which carries on to the closed part. Item 11, again personal. My daughter goes to business school.
Thank you. Okay, so I've not been notified of any urgent business. Public question time, I've not been notified of any public questions. We have the minutes of the Cabinet meeting held on the 10th of July 2017 before us. Can we agree those as a correct record? Okay, item 6 is an update on government resources allocated to the Council since 2017-18. Budget was approved. Who's going to speak to that?
So, thank you, Chair. Since the budget was approved, then we've had a number of notification of grants to the Council, which obviously we welcome, but we'd have welcomed it even more if we had them before the budget was finalised for the year. So, nevertheless, we're always grateful to have the additional resources. They're detailed in the paper. The largest grant has been obviously for adult social care. There's been a lot of publicity around that, and for the financial year 17-18 it was 5.095 million, Chair. And since then we've had meeting to allocate that resource, and it has been certainly allocated for this year, which is 17-18, but future years we still need to make the decision about where to be spent. There's very clear guidelines from the department about where it can be spent, and Maggie's made, and her team has made an excellent case for all of it to go to her directorate, and after having lots of discussion over a long meeting, we've agreed to do that, but we will review the position for the second and third year of the allocation that we've got. There has been a number of other relatively small grants as well, Chair. Those are detailed in the report, and again those have been appropriately allocated to the various departments or the section of the department. I'm happy to take any questions, and as always, Chair, the technical question, our Director of Finance, Anne Ryan's here to answer them.
Any questions or comments?
Just a comment, Chair. It's just, obviously, Abdul's already mentioned the fact that we welcome the extra resources that have been given, but just to outline that yes, we've got this extra money, but it's nowhere enough to what is actually required in Oldham, and considering what's been taken out of Oldham already, it's just peanuts basically, and obviously we need more resources next year and moving forward, otherwise we'll have to cut back on some of the services that we provide.
Thanks, Shoaib. Okay. Yeah, please do.
Thank you. You'll recall, Chair, that this funding came after a long campaign, national campaign by the Local Government Association, and our expectation was that this money would be made available before everyone agreed their budget, but the government didn't make that available, they made it afterward. And a couple of weeks back we were at the LGA conference in Birmingham, and one of the agreement we reached was, this is a cross-party agreement, that there isn't enough money in the system to provide for the services that local government are providing at the moment. So there's been an agreement that we collectively lobby government for more money, and then if we do get it, then to actually divvy that up more fairly. So it's recognised, and I think you will find the LGA will again very strongly campaign on behalf of the local authorities. But you're right, Shoaib, that in terms of Oldham, our reliance has been more on the grants, and so when grants are cut, then we feel it more than any other councils. So last year, for example, there was a net reduction in our RSG, revenue support grant, by more than £10 million. So this is a real cut on top of all the other pressures that you've got. So this area of work will need to continue going forward, and we definitely need additional resources in Oldham to provide very essential services like adult social care going forward. So I'm glad you raised that issue.
Thank you. Okay, so item 7 is the food and feed service plans for 2017-18. Anybody want to speak to that?
Thank you, Chair. I think it's very straightforward. I don't think there's any need for me to say any more than what the report says.
No, I do remember when this was in my portfolio some time ago. This is something that we've got to do every year, isn't it? And it's a statutory thing. So are we agreed? The report, thank you. Item 8 is contract award Mills Hill School kitchen and plant room extension. Who's going to speak to this? Mine. Sorry. Okay, so this is to seek approval to accept a successful tender and award a contract for a kitchen extension at Mills Hill Primary School as part of the Priority Backlog Maintenance Programme. So obviously it's essential works to a primary school kitchen and plant room. So are we agreed? Thank you. Item 9 is the Phase 2 approval of Gateways to Oldham, which is new build housing. Have you got anything to add to what's in the report, Barbara?
No, only that it's been really successful now, Primrose Bank, having hit a bit of a snag at the beginning because the type of housing that was being built didn't actually meet the needs of the community who wanted to live there, and that's been resolved. So although this is a fallback position in case those new houses don't sell and the council will get them back, we are actually very confident there's been huge interest off plan. So we're very confident they will actually sell, that we've addressed the disadvantages of the original scheme. And as I say, that whole development at Primrose Bank's been really successful. We're getting a really good community, there's lots of good initiatives happening there. So very optimistic that this will build on that.
That's good, thanks for that. Any questions or comments? Okay. Thank you. And now the next item on the agenda is the removal of the press and public. So, can we ask